Hello and welcome to Black Box Trading. I'm your host JT, and here on the channel we focus on Bitcoin fundamental and technical analysis, and it's been definitely on the technical side because if you're paying attention to the fundamentals, if you've been listening to the headlines, if you've been listening to the news, you're probably sidelined, you're probably scared. Stop listening to the news. You're never going to make money on a headline. This show it's going to be like yesterday's show. We're bullish, baby. We are looking good. We are getting ready for an all-time high break. Nothing stops this train. I'm seeing nothing but more upside from here. Will we get an all-time high break today? Is it going to happen on today's candle? Is it going to happen on tomorrow's candle? In my opinion, it's certainly happening this week. Is it just going to happen in the next 48 hours? Let's dive into it. Let's take a look at the king of all crypto. That is Bitcoin. Taking a look at our position here on BitGet. We are $219,000 long on Bitcoin here on BitGet exchange. Links below if you guys want to get signed up to $30,000 in sign up bonuses if you sign up with our affiliate link. So definitely go and check that out. Currently in a profit of $15,730. Not too shabby. If you guys missed the signal, where is the Discord? Do I have the Discord up here? Let's get the Discord. I got to show the signal. Don't trust, verify. That's the Bitcoin way. Never trust, always verify. Here we are in the free Discord server. If you guys are new and you're not already in, definitely check out the Discord server. Where's our signals? Right there. Bitcoin. We posted this on the 5th. Boom. Couldn't have gotten a better entry than that. I mean, it's less than $100 off of the lows. Congrats to the brave men and women, the brave Bitcoin soldiers out there who saw the green diamond inside of the green wave on our custom alpha indicator and did what they needed to do, because my God, what a beautiful, beautiful rally off of that level so far. And I don't think we're done. I think we're ready to continue to higher levels. So let's take a look here. Let's kind of zoom things out. Let's take a look. Well, on the daily, let's break it candle by candle. Shout out in the chat. Who's up in the chat? Who's here? Where are you all joining in from? I am joining you live from beautiful British Columbia, Canada, where y'all hail from. Let's see what's going on in the chat. Yesterday's close. Beautiful, beautiful close. Nothing but demand. When you see a candle like this, I believe, no, I'm not super well versed in the doji world because I don't really care, but I believe that this is called a dragonfly doji. You don't need to know the terminology. You just need to know what a wick means and what a body candle close means. Obviously, this was an incredibly bullish daily candle, and it had extreme upside. Then we got a close after that where we did move down, but what happened when we moved down? We were bought all the way back up. What does that tell you? That tells you that the bulls are in control. It tells you that the bid is strong. Bitcoin is in up only mode. Typically Bitcoin, most of the time Bitcoin is not in this mode. Most of the time Bitcoin is chop solidating. 90% of Bitcoin's existence is some sort of large annoying range where it's trading ultimately sideways, maybe a little bit of down. But then it gets into these impulse phases, these repricing phases. That is what I believe that we are in right now. I believe that we are in a repricing phase, and we're ready to break out some of these all-time highs. This all-time high is currently sitting at, actually, it's right here on the BitGet chart. $112,035 is the all-time high to break here on the perpetuals contract for this Bitcoin cross margin chart, coin margin chart rather. I think that that's very, very easily achievable. I mean, it's a $2,000 move. That's nothing. You can sneeze in the wrong direction and Bitcoin moves $2,000. So certainly well achievable. This candle, we have 8 hours left in this candle. If we don't close it above an all-time high, I personally am willing to state here publicly that I believe it will happen on the candle after. Ultimately, this weekly candle close will be a new all-time high is what I believe. And if not, it will certainly be the highest weekly candle close in Bitcoin's existence. How can I have so much confidence? Because the market has so much pessimism. The market is so wrong. I'm sorry. The market is wrong. When everybody is bearish, everybody, even the bulls, are pessimistic on price targets. When you're in that kind of environment, when altcoins are just like, nobody believes in altcoins anymore. And then the Bitcoin bulls are saying, oh yeah, no, I realistically think we can get to like $200,000 by the end of the year. Fuck you. You're a bear. That is bearish. Bitcoin is going to be at $500,000, $600,000, $700,000, $800,000 by the end of this cycle, which could happen by the end of the year. But I am starting to lean into thinking that maybe it is happening early 2020, early to mid 2026. We're going to see it. We're going to see, I do want to say that, time is probably the hardest part to quantify. And moving into the end of the year, you are going to have to be laser focused. So if you aren't already subscribed to this channel, make sure that you like and subscribe this video so that we stay in your algorithms. I'm going to do my best to keep you guys up to date. But regardless of where you're getting your information, October, November, December, you need to be laser focused on the market, because there's totally a possibility that that could be at the end of the market. So we'll have to see how things play out. But I'm very open to the probabilities that this cycle actually bleeds into that fifth year and gets us into 2026. Yate's in Austin. What up, brother? Welcome in. Who else is joining into the live stream? Drop a heyo or a hello into the chat so that we can see that you're here, see that you're alive and kicking. We got 28 people watching on the live stream across Twitch, YouTube, and Twitter. That's the last one, X. So if you are here, hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the tweet, retweet, do all the things that help the algorithms. We've got to fight the dead internet theory. We're not going to be bots talking to other bots. This is real people talking to real people. We got to get the algo to recognize real people again. So, hey, yo, Bald Squirrel in the chat. How's it going? All right. So let's take a look at some smaller time frames. Let's drive on down to the 4 hour. 4 hour has reclaimed the exponential moving average. Nope, simple moving average. So we are above the 7. I've told you in last stream, we were kind of below the 7. We might dance with the 7 for a little bit. If we fully lose the 7, we're going to come back down to the 30, which is already a higher price than what it was yesterday. The 30 is at 107,419. So that support is building. That support is holding us up. So it's looking good. Now, what does this look like, ladies and gentlemen? What does this look like to you? To me, this looks like a bull flag. We are consolidating in a tight range right around the 7 after a breakout, after an impulse, after a new move in sentiment. The bid is on. The bid is strong for Bitcoin. It's looking good. Let's go down to the hourly. And what can we see? How can we get even more bullish? How can I get more excited? How can I get you to go long and strong like you should have been fucking days ago, a week ago? What we're looking at here is a W pattern. Right? We like W's. W's are signs of strength. M's are weakness. You don't want to see M's. We're not looking at an M. We're looking at a W. W is for the win, ladies and gentlemen. M is for you got to go flip burgers at McDonald's. So we're looking at this win, but also we have a low and we have a higher low, whereas on the RSI, we have a low and we have an equal low. That is called exaggerated bullish divergence, ladies and gentlemen. It is looking good. If we turn on the volume, let's take a look at what we see in the volume. Beautiful demand spikes. Where are the spikes taking place? We had the take profit spike here, which caused the consolidation. No surprises there. We got that big move up and, traders take profits. That's what they do. But then here we got a nice little a spike where the volume's coming in. You did get a sell volume right there on this candle. And then right here again, we're having the increase of demand as it comes down and rests on support of the moving averages. It's good. We're looking good. We're looking good. Sometimes the best analysis is the simplest analysis, and we're in an uptrend, baby. Let's not get complicated with it. We're trending up. We have higher highs and higher lows. It's looking good. Now, what would invalidate this? What would invalidate our bullish idea as far as this bullish bull flag? What would invalidate the bull flag for us? Let's turn on the line chart. And let's draw ourselves a little parallel channel here. I think if we break out of this channel to the downside, so, you know, you got to be on high alert if you start to see candle body closes on the hourly in this general range between 108,250 and 108,600. If you start to see hourly candles close in that range, be on high alert, because we can totally break down. And any hourly candle close that closes below 108,200 would probably lead us to retest the 30 simple moving average here on the 4 hour, which is currently at 107,412. So not even that big of a deal. I think dips are for buying. Dips are going to be quick. V-shaped recoveries is the name of the game. That is the new meta. Holding on to positions long and strong is going to be the most favorable outcome. Yeah, what more do I need to say? What more do you want from me? Let's take a look at how things are shaping up on the traditional side of things. Let's copy this. Let's take a look at the old S&P. Let's take a look at that salt and pepper index. S&P having a down day today. But that's okay, because we're just ticking our way up to an all-time high break. The S&P 500 might find a little bit of resistance here at the all-time high. It probably will, unless there's some news-driven narrative to break us through the all-time high. But mark my words, the S&P is going to break the all-time high. You are going to see an all-time high break, a repricing, a blue sky breakout for the S&P. You're going to see blue sky breakout for the NASDAQ. You're going to see all systems go for all markets. And it doesn't matter that the news is bearish and, oh, the grown-ups are fighting and Elon and Trump are fighting and there's trade war and there's tariffs and there's this and there's that and there's recession. Bullshit. You're never going to make a fucking dime paying attention to the headlines. Look at this. This is the truth. Men lie, women lie, charts don't lie. This is up only. The people are selling you bullshit and they're buying the truth. The truth is in the charts, ladies and gentlemen. I don't watch the news at all. I get my news second, third, fourth hand down, preferably in the format of memes. I will never watch the news, because when you watch the news, guess what? You lose money. If you are struggling in your trading, do that one thing, just one thing. Turn off CNBC, turn off Fox News, turn off every propaganda machine in your life, and you will become a better trader if you do nothing else. Trust me, believe me, I'm living that life. I travel the world. That's one of the benefits of traveling the world, by the way. Usually I'm in Asia, and this is why it's so easy for me to avoid the news. If the news is on in Thailand, I haven't got a fucking clue what the hell they're saying. It's Sabaidi Mai, man. It's Sawadee Cup. They're like, I have no fucking clue what's going on. It's nothing but happy days. The how-tos in the chat. Welcome in. What is going on, brother? So definitely get the news out of your life. Let's see how the dollar is devaluing itself. Looks like it's getting ready for a breakdown again. It's going to break down. It's going to break down. Look at this. This is what's called a redistribution, ladies and gentlemen, in Wyckoff. I'm not going to break it down, all the different Wyckoff events, but when you look at this, this is called a redistribution. It's just a shitty, you know, some people are going to try and pass this off as a double bottom. This is a rejection. This is an up thrust failure. This is an up thrust failure. Get a confirmation with a break below. Once we're teetering. We're teetering on the edge of existence for the dollar here. If you hold your wealth in dollars, you may want to get some Bitcoin, because the value of the dollar over the entirety of this year, the value of the dollar this year has lost already 10.5%. So if you measure your wealth in dollars, if you say, oh, I've got $1.2 million worth of net worth, if that's you, guess what? You just lost 10% of your value. So quit measuring with the government slave currency. Quit measuring with the wrong ruler. Quit measuring with the ruler that changes its etch marks every single day. Measure with hard money. It doesn't have to be Bitcoin, but it should be with something hard. Innuendo there. It'll let you do with that what you will. But gold is a great one. Bitcoin, in my opinion, is the most reflexive. When you price your life in Bitcoin, everything gets cheaper. While everybody's going around saying, oh my God, inflation, it's so bad. Eggs are this much. My rent is this much. Eggs and rent do nothing but go down for me. Every single month, the price of eggs goes down, the price of my rent goes down, the price of my everything goes down, the price of my flights, the price of my accommodations, the price of my, I'm flying business class all of a sudden now, quite a bit. Now I'm not trying to flex. I'm trying to make a point here. The point is, we live in a deflationary world. And this is, a lot of people who listen to Jeff Booth, you already know that I've been into some Jeff Booth podcasts, but he's 100% correct. Technology doesn't get worse. Technology gets better. As technology moves the world forwards, productivity increases, everything becomes more efficient. Therefore, the cost of everything associated with technology should go down. We live in a deflationary world. Your money should hold its value. Therefore, the price of goods and services, food, shelter, transportation, all of it, the price of those goods and services should go down. But they don't, because the government is stealing your money and you're letting them. So if you want to experience what the world is really like, if you want to remove the bullshit, if you want to take the blindfold off and see what the world is actually like, you got to take the first leap. You got to take the plunge, and you got to go into a 100% Bitcoin lifestyle. Now, nobody's going to say that that's easy. I've been in Bitcoin since 2016, and I'm not going to tell you that transition is an easy transition. And for most people, no, do not go all in on Bitcoin all at once, but just be open to it and allow kind of the world to kind of, trend in that direction. Never do anything all at once. Never buy in everything all at once. Never sell out of anything all at once, but have a goal, have a vision, and trend towards that direction. And I'm telling you, when you move your life to a Bitcoin standard and you start to price everything that you buy and earn in Bitcoin, life just gets easier. Everything goes down. Deflation. You get to experience the world as it really is. Yeah, down with TV. Down with TV in general, Yate. That is correct. James Talons, the charts are narrative busting. You got it, man. Up only. As long as the dollar if the dollar has no floor, Bitcoin has no top. It's really as simple as that. It is the perfect representation of inverse correlation to the fake world, the fiat world, and the real world, the deflationary world. And the dollar's looking like shit. It's looking like it wants to take another move down. I mean, we got 2 days left for this weekly candle. And if that closes below this level, which it very much looks like it wants to do, we're probably going to come back down to the bottom of this channel, which will be fire alarms. You will see a lot of scary stuff on the headlines. You want to continue to get scared. Let the news media reel tell you that the dollar is dying. Guess what, guys? The dollar has been dying forever. The US dollar, is the strongest currency in the entire world. It is the strongest currency in the entire world, and it's lost 99% of its value. So what does that tell you about the rest of the garbage? It's all shit. It's all shit. All right, let's get back. Let's get away from the crazy cypherpunk anarchist narratives and let's get back into the technicals. You guys already know I'm a Bitcoin maxi. You guys already know that I'm a fucking lunatic. I don't need to drill that point any more home than I already have. But yeah, I mean, this it's a bull flag. It's a bull flag. This is going to break out. Let's draw lines on it so that it's real, right? Because if we're technical analysts, we have to draw lines on things. Otherwise, it's not true. So let's draw some lines on this bull flag because we going to break out. We're going to head to higher levels. This is nothing but up only environment, ladies and gentlemen. We're off to the races. All right. So we covered Bitcoin. We covered the S&P. We covered the dying dollar. How are we doing on that rotation? Actually, alts look decent, you know, as far as Bitcoin dominance is concerned. Now, I'm still not jumping into altcoins, so don't ask. I'm not jumping into altcoins anytime soon. It's not time still. It's still not time. We can, however, slide this up to here. I suppose altcoin season now officially starts at the... Come on. At the 61.89% line, which is better than the 60.38% line. But ultimately what I want to see is I want to see that big move. I want to see that big move up to 70. I think that 70 is coming. I think that Bitcoin still needs to have the world captivating rally where it's just like, what the hell is going on? And the world needs to develop a narrative around the price action, even though the only thing that's going on is people want Bitcoin and there's not enough to go around. They're going to develop some sort of a narrative, and then the trickle down effects of that narrative are going to lead into an altcoin season. So I think that we get to 70%. Now, I don't know what drives that narrative. We will see. Maybe we have the Fed meeting coming up in like a week. When's the Fed meeting? Fed watch. Yeah, a week, 7 days, exactly. 7 days and an hour. There is an anticipated no change to... there's going to be no change to the interest rates. An interesting catalyst that could take place is maybe they cut. Just take the whole market off guard and decide to cut. Now, these are usually pretty accurate. You know, we're at 99.9%. So the chances are extremely probable that there will not be a rate change cut. There will not be a rate change. There will not be a cut. But who knows? You know, the crazier things have happened and this market is nothing but nonsense and lies. So maybe the insiders have done all the accumulating they need to do and they want to start pumping the bags again. They want to start turning the printer on again. So who knows? We will see in 7 days. But there could be other catalysts as well. Catalysts such as the fact that the last bond auction, just like the auction prior, didn't have any demand, and the U.S. Treasury bought $10 billion worth of their own bonds. How do they buy $10 billion worth of their own bonds? They print the money to buy it. We're in silly town. We're in nonsense territory. The money printer is going burr. We don't necessarily need rate cuts to see the effects of that. All right, let's catch up with the chat before we go into degenerate altcoin territory. Spam your altcoin tickers. I don't have anything nice to say about them, but we can have fun and talk about them if you really want to. 5 to 600K this cycle. Early in the year, I think you were saying 250 was most likely. What changed? I gave a silly range, Romsey. I said Bitcoin is going to go anywhere from 250K to $1.2 million. It's a massive range. I am a super hyper bull. I'm as bullish as you can get. Yes, I believe that $1.2 million is a possibility this cycle. So if that discredits me, cool. We'll see you later. We'll see you at 1.2 mil. Nothing's changed. I give myself a massive bullish barrier. If we have the exact same amount of liquidity from last cycle go into Bitcoin, and last cycle was a stifled cycle, but if we have the exact same amount of last cycle, we're at 400K Bitcoin. I think we're going to have twice as much liquidity this cycle. So now we're at 800K Bitcoin. Not only that, we've never seen the exchange volumes so low. We're at 2017 levels of exchange flows. And if we get a 2017 like cycle, we're getting to $1.8 million. Like, you guys are not fucking prepared. Most people are not prepared. Most people are going to sell too soon this cycle. And that's okay, because that's one of the many mistakes that you make as you go cycle to cycle. I've done it in prior cycles. I sold VeChain at like 15 cents. I wrote it from 4 cents to 15 cents. Then it went to, $1.50 or some shit. Like, those are common mistakes. People often underestimate how easy it is for Bitcoin to move when the conditions are right. And, just don't underestimate Bitcoin. So how do you use a range like that? I've often said on this channel, price targets are completely pointless, and they are. I just gave you a price target between $250 million to 1.2 mil. That's pretty fucking pointless. So what is my plan exactly for selling? And I'll tell you, my plan for selling is, let's go to this weekly chart, is at some point, this little wave here, this green wave, this green wave, which is the Lucid SAR, it's a modified custom Lucid SAR that we made. These little dots here, these dots will continue to rise through the bull market, and it will say that this wave is green. That is our bull market bias. Now, when you have peak euphoria, meaning that Bitcoin is all over the news, your mom is calling you on how to buy Bitcoin, your neighbor or your friends from Facebook that you haven't talked to in 15 years are being like, hey, I heard you're into this Bitcoin thing. What do you think about Cardano? Like, if you start getting to that kind of level of just fervor in the market where sentiment is at an all-time high, and this wave shifts from green to red, it's over. It's done. Finito. Bull market over. Bull market concluded. Are you going to nail the top? No. Nobody nails the top unless they just happen to be taking profits at the top. But when you look through history here, here's another example. The bull market was green, 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 green. At the very top, it transitioned to red. You didn't catch the top. You got the close, which was like 54,000. You got out. You got back in at the green. We rode that back up to the second top. So we actually got two tops in the last cycle. And then we immediately exited after that, both exiting at around 55,000. Then over here, again, the 2017 rally. Let's get our arrow back. This is totally possible. We could see a rally like this. If we get a rally like this, you're encroaching on $1 million per coin. I know it sounds crazy, and I have plans to protect myself from those crazy thoughts. My plan to protect myself from those crazy thoughts is this right here. When this green wave turns to red, when the bull market bias changes to a bear market bias, I'll be out. And that can happen at 200K. That can happen at 300K. That can happen at 500K. That can happen at 1 million. That can happen at 1.8 million. I have a plan to allow for the most upside, whereas I also have a plan to protect myself from over exuberance. And that's why I don't do targets, because I don't need targets. I have an action plan regardless of targets. Actionable events are more important than price targets. Retail does not think like that. Retail thinks, oh, I bought at this, I'm going to sell at that. I bought this much at this price, I'm going to sell this much at this price, this much at this price, this much at this price. That's just how retail thinks. We don't do that. We take technical thresholds that are non-negotiables in the market, and we act upon those thresholds. And for those who don't know, by the way, that's exactly how Blackbox works. So if you log into your Blackbox account, this is a free product that we offer, by the way, and you go over to the spot strategies and you look at the Blackbox strategy, everything that I'm telling you right now is exactly how the Blackbox bot works. Over a 5-year period, this strategy has yielded 3,800%. That could we could see higher metrics than that moving forwards. We can see lower metrics than that moving forwards. But even if you got half of that, you'd be a pretty happy camper. So, this is something that served us well, cycle to cycle to cycle. And, we love it. We keep it simple, man. We don't try and reinvent the wheel. We know what works and we follow this to a T. The key ingredient that's really hard for me to teach, and I will admit that it's hard for me to convey, is sentiment. I wish that there was like a technical indicator that you could look at that shows sentiment, but there isn't. So that's the part that needs a little bit of guidance. That's the part that needs a little bit of experience. And that's why we offer the Discord. That's why I'm available pretty much 24/7 inside of the free Discord server where we're sharing all of our live trades, our entries, exits, take profits, etc. But it's there so that I can post something in the group and say, hey guys, euphoria is really high. We just went from bullish to bearish on our bias. I'm out. And then you could be like, asking questions. Oh, do you think I should exit 50%? What do you think about this? And then we can have banter back and forth inside of the Discord. Don't try and do that with me in the YouTube comments. I do respond to as many comments as I can, but I usually get one comment deep and then I never talk to you again. So, what would you be out into if you don't like the dollar? That is a really good question, PJT. And this is something where I don't like the dollar, but I've been in Bitcoin long enough to know that there are periods of time where it gets overbought and overhyped. And during those periods of time, I don't like the dollar, but I'll use it. It's not going to drop in value as fast as Bitcoin will drop in value. So I will take a little bit of cash out in a local currency. It may not even be the dollar. If I plan to spend a year in Thailand, I'll be taking out Thai baht. I might diversify into real estate. That's been something that I've been pondering this cycle, even though I don't think real estate is a good trade. I think it is a decent enough store of value in the context of holding a dollar position. Gold, bullion, I think gold's going to dump at the same time that Bitcoin dumps, but it will dump not as aggressively. Stable coins on a ledger, short positions too, just trade the coin margin short position. So really good question. And I haven't fully digested what it is that I'm actually going to do, because it depends on what am I looking at here. Am I looking at a $200,000 Bitcoin, or am I looking at a $1.2 million Bitcoin? Because if we get to $1.2 million Bitcoin, it's way overvalued. And then I'm definitely going to want to diversify into stuff that is definitely going to be dollar heavy, because Bitcoin got overvalued. I love Bitcoin. I want to see the world succeed in Bitcoin. I want everybody to measure in Bitcoin. But if we reach those levels, it's too high. It's too high. And so I need to go into real estate, dollars, banks, all the stuff that I hate. But that's the reality. This is a journey. That being said, I'm never fully out. I'm going to ride the wave. I'm going to ride Bitcoin. A portion of my Bitcoin I'll ride. If it goes to 1.2, I'm going to hold Bitcoin all the way back down to, 120,000 or whatever it ends up being. So I don't know. We'll see when we get there. I'm focused on the long and strong side of things right now and haven't given it enough thought. Let's catch up with the chat here. Baloo, I just got in and see you're live. Did I miss anything important? Just a lot of bullish excitement. Par for the course. Same old. Number go up, freedom go up. That's all. Satoshi Corner, best way to exchange BTC for Thai baht there? Well, there's the best way and then there's the easiest way, and those are totally different things. The best way is to go on BISC and sell Bitcoin a couple $1,000s at a time, small bits at a time, on using a travel credit card or a travel debit card like Wise or Revolut, and doing it OTC peer-to-peer. That's the best way. Now, the easiest way would be for me to set up a Thai company a Thai holding company, get a Thai bank account with that holding company, and set up a BitCub account, fully KYC'd, fully tax compliant, yada, 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 and just sell the Bitcoin directly on BitCub and have them deposit Thai bot into the Thai exchange. That's the easiest way. Easiest and best are different things. So it depends, where are you coming from? What's the angle that you're looking at things from? I am, on top of my Bitcoin trading prowess, I am also a privacy advocate. I tend to do things the hard way. I always do things the hard way. I have difficult to use wallets that I recommend. I run my own node. I batch my own transactions. I, organize my own UTXOs. I generally go into currencies peer-to-peer. So what I do is really difficult, but it focuses on maintaining the privacy and maintaining the core ethos of Bitcoin itself, where it's truly decentralized, truly immutable, truly unconfiscatable. So, it depends on your definition of best. All right. ETH. Look at that. Not too shabby. I think that a floor is in, ladies and gentlemen. I think that this is the floor for ETH. I do not think that Ethereum will ever breach 1.8 million sats per ETH for the remainder of this cycle. I think that ETH is in. The low is in for ETH. I think that we can come down and retest somewhere around the low, but I think the low is in for ETH. This is looking good. This is a healthy chart. So, this is not bad. This is not bad. We're currently at 2.6 million sats per ETH. I think that you can begin to start getting excited above 3 million sats per ETH, but ultimately what you want to see is us getting above this multi-year downtrend. Breaching above that level is going to be a huge signal to the market. It's time to go. It's altcoin season. Buckle up. It's moonshot time. And if ETH is above this level, you're going to feel it. You're going to be like, yeah, duh, it's altcoin season. Sure. It's going to be well and truly obvious that we are in altcoin season if you see ETH above that level. Blue, the latest David Lin report with Gareth Soloway showed a chart where he connected all of the BTC tops since 2017. And there you can see that 112 looks like a top for BTC. Gareth Soloway is a fucking moron. And anybody willing to go on the Gareth Soloway show is a fucking moron. All right. Solana looking good as well. Kind of getting a double bounce. What do I think about ordinals? Runes, they will be late stage. They will gain traction late stage altcoin season. We're just kind of trickling in, ladies and gentlemen. Don't fucking chomp at the bit. Everybody is so impatient. Eric, I know that, you're kind of involved in that space, and I'm not saying that you particularly are an impatient one, but this space, like memes, runes, ordinals, that's degenerate behavior. Absolute degenerate behavior. What has degenerate behavior gotten people so far? It's gotten them wrecked. They are 99% down on degen assets. That doesn't mean that they won't come back. It just means that first we need to convince people, okay, Bitcoin's okay. It's safe now. Come out. Bitcoin's okay. Bitcoin's going to go up. We're in a bull market. It's okay. Come out. Oh, Ethereum is nice now too. Look, Ethereum is okay. It's okay. I know you're hurt. Please come back. Please come back. And then Solana's okay too, guys. It's fine. It's fine. Then Solana memes are good. Then Ethereum memes are good. Then NFTs are back. Then, the money's flowing and it doesn't matter what you touch. Now we're into degeneracy again. It's all cyclical, but degeneracy comes last. So runes, ordinals, BRC20, alkalinas, or what are the alkanes? All of that shit is late cycle degeneracy when people are confident in the market. When you look around, are people confident? No, they're not confident. When you ask people, what do you think the price of Bitcoin will be? They'll say, I think we can do 150. That's not confident at all. When the people become confident, they become complacent. When they become complacent, they become degenerate fucking gamblers. That is late stage. It comes later. Solana's looking good. Let's take a look at Cardano. It's not my favorite chart, honestly. I do think Cardano is going to do well. However, this chart is just fucking boring me to sleep. Like, I'm ready for a nap looking at this chart. XRP, where are we, ladies and gentlemen? Are we below this line? Or are we above this line? We are below this line. That means we are bearish. We are not bullish. So XRP, we're still bearish. We're still bearish. All right, now we can get into some of the I'll take requests at this point. I don't always have something nice to say, but I will take requests. I consider it as the riskiest sector currently in crypto. Exactly. And the riskiest sector in crypto needs the most amount of comfort. Fartcoin. Fartcoin is a great example of something that nobody gives a shit about right now. Where did we go wrong? What happened to us? What does this represent in the global? What does this represent as far as humanity is concerned? What is this fartcoin? Fartcoin? I guess I shouldn't be surprised. I mean, you guys remember cum rockets last cycle? If you guys were not around last cycle, like fartcoin, it's just childish. We had cum rocket. Wow. And here I am being surprised by fartcoin. No, fartcoin looks good. You know, we kind of got like a cup and handle formation here. Certainly no cum rocket, but fartcoin's looking pretty good. I wonder if fartcoin and cum rocket should do a collab. I'm not going to proceed with that joke. I'm going to leave that joke alone, and I need to wash my mouth out later. Yeah, you kind of got like a cup and handle here, but I'm not going to be excited about this until we can get above that level. Until we can see some solid closes, like a weekly close above $1.61, I would proceed with caution. Especially considering that Bitcoin dominance is working, well, currently working for you, but this is an uptrend in Bitcoin dominance. Be careful when Bitcoin dominance is in an uptrend. Be very careful when Bitcoin dominance is in an uptrend. I'm not saying that there can't be outliers. This doesn't encapsulate every single altcoin of the 10 million fucking altcoins that exist now. But just be careful, because you are trying to sail a boat upwind. It's possible, but it's very, very difficult. Sonic. Yeah, I definitely want to check out Sonic. We haven't checked out Sonic in a while. Mauricio Lopez. Hola, señor. ¿Cómo está? ¿Dónde tú eres? ¿España or Mexico? Or otra country? That's the extent of my Spanish there. Cum rocket. Got a pocket full of that. Oh, God. Can we check hype? Sure. Let's check Sonic first. Sonic's actually on the watch list. Sonic's actually something that I think, is worth taking a look at. So we'll take a look at that one first. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where's my Sonic at? Oh, it's down. Not too bad. Yeah. I'm going to have to check the vibes. So at this point, I believe that Sonic is actually very close to early Solana. Let's actually check early Solana. I'm curious now. Let's take a look at early Solana. What did early Solana look like? What is this? Are we on the daily here on Sonic? Yeah, daily on Sonic. Let's go to the daily early Solana. Uh-oh. Let's draw some comparisons here. All right. So here's early Solana. Solana got that first impulse hype. It was launched, nobody cared. Then it really got some attention. And this was at like $1. It went from like 10 cents to $1. And then it totally retraced below to a new low and then began to tick up above the moving averages. So how does that compare to Sonic right now? First wave of hype came to below the prior launch hype. New low, we got to get above the moving averages. So currently we're below the moving averages. For those wondering, that's the 7 and the 30. I like the 7 and the 30 because when you're on the daily chart, it represents the weekly average price and the monthly average price. Generally speaking, when the weekly average price is higher than the monthly average price, you're in an uptrend and you're good. Yucatan. I love the Yucatan. I struggle with the accent of Mexican people in the Yucatan. I don't know. It's kind of sing-songy in a way, and they've really condensed sentences a lot. So I struggle with the Spanish accent in the Yucatan. But one of my favorite places in Mexico is Playa del Carmen. I know I'm a fucking gringo, whatever, but I love Playa del Carmen because it's so easy to walk around. It's just one of the most walkable cities in Mexico. I love it. Anyways. Yeah, so, we're below the moving averages. There's really nothing noteworthy to get excited about here on Sonic just yet, but it's definitely one that I'm keeping a close eye on. It is on the watch list. I want in. I want some action on this one, and I might even start doing a probe position so I start paying closer attention. Greed. Greed is a token now. Let's take a look at Greed. Let's see what's up with Greed. Greed. What's greed? Or are you just commenting greed? Oh, people like Fartcoin because of greed, I'm guessing is what you're saying. All right. Hype. Hype is probably... Oh, Hype is Hyperliquid. Yeah, this is a platform that I should know more about. I should be closer associated with Hyperliquid. I have not used the platform once, and that's embarrassing for someone that's as DeFi native and as heavy into exchanges as I am. But I just haven't done it. So, but it's definitely a very popular platform these days. It's getting a lot of attention. And it's got a strong trend. Now, if Hyperliquid continues on the path that I believe it's going down, this can be very good. Now, this is a little too late of an entry for me. If you're bullish on Hyperliquid, I would wait till price is at least below the 30. So you can see how the 7's been holding us here on the daily. So just day after day after day, we're getting a higher daily price. I want to see the price go at least below the monthly price here at $32. So that would be the bare minimum for me to get into something like this. So, and ideally you might even consider trying to get it at the 50. So the 50s here is at 28. Anything sub 30 at this current level. Next week it'll be higher thresholds because these are moving averages and they're moving up every single day. But as it stands right now, any move below 30 would be valuable for me. And that's not to say that this can't keep going. It can keep going. It probably will keep going. But if I'm trying to get a position in this, I can't buy it when it's just on blue sky breakouts like this. I gotta wait for some sort of a value to come back to me, which means I have to wait for a 30. I have to wait for a 50. These are some of the hard and fast rules that I always use. And when I'm in a strong trending environment, it can trend completely away from me, and I'm just not going to take a position. But 9 times out of 10, if not more, you will get a correction day. There will be a negative news day. There will be a market scare. And that would be the day that you take a position into hyperliquid. Greed is why the shitcoins exist. Yeah, 100%. Mauricio, you'll be in Playa in a couple of weeks in Acumel. Nice. I love Acumel. Go swim with them turtles, buddy. All right. We'll do one more. Spam your ticker. It's the last one. One more. Get it in quick. First one to do it wins. First one to get their ticker wins. Better be a goodie. One more alt, and then we're out of here. One more alt, and then we're out of here. What's it going to be? What's it going to be? Don't make me pick it. I'll pick something boring. I'll pick something boring. BCH. All right. All right. All right. We can take a look at Bitcoin Cash. Bcash. Do I have this on the watch list? I should. So here's the thing. Everything's about narratives, right? The thing about Bcash, or the thing about Bitcoin more specifically, is Bitcoin is going to experience some growing pains this cycle, as it does every cycle, as people get way too overhyped and overexposed, and too many transactions on the network, and too much bullshit on the network. The network gets stressed. And when the Bitcoin network gets stressed, what does that mean? $20 transactions, $30 transactions, $40, $50 transactions if you're using a shitty wallet that doesn't know how to, set the fee properly. That's a hack, by the way. Use a wallet like Sparrow where you can set the fee manually, and then you don't need to worry about wallets charging you way too much to get in a transaction through. You can save yourself a lot of money. But anyways, you're going to start to see these really high transaction amounts, and every single time transaction fees jack up on Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin, and BSV, Bitcoin Satoshi's Vision, all pump. Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin, BSV, the scam forks, they all pump because they latch onto that narrative. Bitcoin's broken. It's not working anymore. We need to fix it. We should have followed Satoshi's original vision of the plan. Look at how efficient our blockchains are working. Yeah, they're efficient because nobody uses them. It's the same as Bitcoin right now. Bitcoin's like, look at Bitcoin right now. It's like 1 sat per VByte. Go to mempool.space. And okay, it's a big day today. Cool. But this forever has been 1 sat per VByte. It was like 10 cents. Now it's 46 cents to send a Bitcoin transaction. So, it's a matter of usage. The reason that Litecoin is cheap is not because of its consensus. It's cheap because nobody uses it. Bitcoin Cash is cheap because nobody uses it. I'm being hyperbolic. There's a lot of people that actually do use Bitcoin Cash. But anyways, BSV is quick and cheap because nobody uses it. So that's the play. That's the narrative. It's important to understand the narrative, because if you understand the narrative, you can get ahead of the narrative. And you, if you're taking a position in Bitcoin Cash right now, are totally ahead of the narrative. This chart does not look bad, ladies and gentlemen. It really doesn't. This does not look bad. What are we looking at here? What are we looking at? We're looking at a win. We're looking at a W formation. This is a win. Looks good. Now, this low is technically lower than this low. So that's not nearly as great as what we talked about earlier on Bitcoin. But these W formations are bullish. They are not bearish. These are very bullish formations that are noteworthy in and of themselves. This structure is showing that there's health and there's demand for Bitcoin Cash right now. Part of that could just be the anticipated rotation into alts. Part of that could just be the fact that Bitcoin Core has kind of gone rogue, and a lot of Bitcoiners are like, well, fuck, maybe I do, maybe this is the final straw. Maybe I should go with Bitcoin Cash. Who knows? But yeah, this is not a bad chart. This looks good. Now, action. Where do you take action on something like this? A break of that line. A break of this line, it's go time. As soon as it breaks above that, it's going to accelerate out of here and probably head into a multi-month rally. So that's what I would be looking out for. You can totally take a position here as we're kind of exiting the bottom. Just maybe don't take a full position, take a probe position, a 20%, maybe a 20 to 25% probe position with the anticipation that it can absolutely come down for another W, right? And you'd enter another 25%, 20, 30% there. And then you would enter the remaining anticipated long position that you want to hold on this at a confirmed breakout. All right, that is all the time I have for today. If you guys haven't already done so, go to blackbox.pro, where we give everything away for free. If anybody ever DMs you that looks like me asking for money, you know it's a scam, because I don't ask for money. Everything that we do is 100% free, forever, no strings attached. If you are trading on centralized exchanges, you are paying fees for those trades. We take a microtransaction of every single one of those trades. And in exchange for that, all you got to do is, in exchange, we give you all of our products for free. You need to sign up with either BitGet, Bybit, or Blofin on the main website. That will give you free and clear access to all of our trading bots, all of our trading signals that are being fed into the Discord, and full access to the Discord server, where we're sharing all of our live trades, our entries, exits, take profits, etc., all provided for you for free. And it's just a cool place to hang out. Come and hang out. We're excited to have you there. We're excited to ask questions, and the questions that you can ask are not solely trading questions. We're all hardcore Bitcoiners in there. We're all, deep, heavy DeFi users. We're blockchain native individuals. So if you're ever wondering what's the best wallet, what's the best protocol, how do we keep yourself safe, what are some best practices for navigating the crypto market, it's all available for you there. Until next time, please trade safe. I wish you all a good morning, afternoon, and evening, and have a good one. Peace.